Z, what's going on? Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me, Jordan. Nice to see you again.
I know. I'm excited, excited to sync up again, listeners, viewers. I met Z last week, so we're recording this on April 19th, but we met last week at a marketing conference here in Los Angeles. Shout out to Digimarcon, but now it's great to connect on the podcast, Z.
Yes, great to connect. Absolutely.
So you are an SEO expert. You have been doing this for a minute. You've probably seen a lot in clients that differ in needs with regards to SEO. What I want to do, because not all of our listeners are in the SEO space, some might be in social, some might be business owners. Some might be overseeing brand marketing or overseeing agencies, internal team, whatever it may be. For a brand or company that's starting or wants to take their SEO more seriously, or someone who is starting out, where should you start with SEO? Because I feel like it's such a blanket term that gets thrown around a lot, but it's not really understood.
Yeah, so the first thing you want to do with when you're talking about your SEO, you want to be clear with what you're bringing to the marketplace. You want to be clear with the product or the service, what it is, being able to describe it succinctly. Once you're able to do that, then what you want to do is you want to understand how people are talking about your products and services in the marketplace. Case in point, I've just launched this magazine and I realized that I hadn't done all the keyword research. It's like I had this idea and I just execute it, and I know there's a need because I have some very relevant experience that told me that this is a need. And so I went and did a keyword research, and I found a bunch of keywords that describe the magazine that I've put together. So understanding what you're selling, understanding how the marketplace is talking about what you have to offer is how you match your supply with the existing keyword economy and the demand.
I like that. And it's really thinking about the customer and putting the customer at the forefront there, right? When you start to, if you zoom out and go, okay, what does the customer actually want? What are they putting into Google? How can we best show up for them and give them information that's relevant toward purchasing our product? I always think somebody said this. It was content is king, but context is better. It was like content is great, but context is better. It was some line basically that great content that's not associated with your business might rank, but is not going to help your business. And we actually see this on our site. We're number one for is reading fiction a waste of time, and we get a lot of clicks for that term. A lot of people search for it. I don't know why we wrote the blog because it has nothing to do with marketing, nothing to do with marketing services. So now we have this post that ranks well and gets several hundred people coming per month, but it does nothing for our business. So on that note, talk to me a little bit about context, understanding in keyword research, how to create content to really speak to the customers and what they want. Are there, yeah, just talk, I guess, talk to me a little bit about how you do that.
Right. So when you really understand your buyer persona, like the biggest overarching umbrella of my best customers are micro and small enterprises, small businesses. And so when you think about like how do you select keywords, you have to think about your SEO in three parts. You have to think about it at top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and end of the funnel. And so most people are really strapped for time. So we live in a time where people are literally seeing more notifications in a day than 100 years ago they saw in a lifetime. And so people are being bombarded with a lot of data, so it's really important for you to have a ubiquitous presence so that you have to touch people more times than the 6 or 12 that traditional marketing academia would say you have to touch someone for them to know that you exist. So when you're looking at your keywords, you have to look at your transactional keywords, your informational keywords, and your branded keywords. So you really want to make sure you show up for those, and also the questions that people are asking about your products and services, because this is how you win online. Once you start getting building up your domain authority and you're starting to get your website is performing because your website is loading quickly, you have the relevant content and code on your website, then you can start building out a long-term content plan, because the average keyword economy is, goes from hundreds to thousands to even millions of keywords. So it really does take time to build out a cohesive content strategy. But if you can understand the different steps and create content that speaks to people at the different steps, this will help you to convert people from, just people out on online into prospects and then into customers.
A lot of people really, what I see in SEO is people emphasizing the importance of having content that converts. And I need content that is, for these three terms, our product versus another product, or they move people down and then they want to really attach value to one piece of content. Talk to me a little bit about the evolution with regards to content and actually building a brand. So stepping out from being married to that one piece of content and maybe its conversion value to looking at the channel as a whole and how it helps build a brand for companies.
Yeah, so right now with Google's helpful algorithm update that just happened within the last month or so, a lot of websites are seeing a decline in website traffic because they're not present on social media as they should. There's over 200 factors that Google's algorithm is looking at to rank websites. And with the prevalence of AI. There, Google's currently testing Gemini in search results. Basically, the algorithm is able to look at those 200 factors in a more effective way, which means you have to do more work as a brand to really make sure that you have your social signals on point, to make sure that your brand has a distinct voice and that you have a point of differentiation. If you don't understand what your point of differentiation is, and if you don't integrate that into your marketing, you're not going to get the visibility you want. If you're not present on Facebook, Pinterest, X, LinkedIn, if you don't have those, if you haven't at least at a bare minimum claimed your social media and verified your domain with those platforms and verified your domain on Google, you're going to have a hard time. So it's really important for you as a brand to plug into the ecosystem that Google has. I like this graphic that I think it's search, I want to say it's Search Engine Watch. I forget, it's either Search Engine Watch or Search Engine Land. They created this periodic table, the Google's algorithm. Like that graphic is just so powerful, and that's literally like a high level list of all the things that you really need to consider. And what I'm finding as time goes on, you really, really need to invest time and resources into developing, having the right alt tags, having the right meta tags, making sure that your keywords is not only integrated into your content and the code of your website, but also in your social media, making sure it's integrated into your images, making sure it's integrated into your video, making sure that you have a YouTube channel, making sure you have video content. I mean, Instagram, I've been hearing rumors that Instagram is about to move to video first versus photos first. And so being able to create that content and leveraging AI, companies that use AI to help streamline the productivity and the production of this content are winning. They're seeing anywhere from a 12 to 21% increase in revenue with that productivity because it's taking them less time to do the same thing. I know us, when it comes to producing blogs, press releases, national media stories, it used to take us anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. Now, like from like once we know what we want to write about, it takes us like an hour.
That's awesome. And it's definitely crazy how much faster like things can get now. And like you're saying, what's interesting thinking about, you're saying like the Google algorithm, right? And we're talking about Google as a channel for SEO, but there have been some emerging SEO channels. TikTok being one. Also, Meta just released their AI. And then you have ChatGPT. And then 75,000 other competitors, which I'm sure will start to come to the forefront, at least some of them. Thinking about that, and we know now, I think it's 1 in 10 Gen Zers, 10% of them use TikTok as their primary search tool, but 75% have used it as a search tool. I've used it as a search tool when I look at things like, for video. I want to know how to set up a shelving unit or something. I want to see the video. So I'm going to start to search for that. I ask this because I want to get your take on the importance of video SEO, both with regards to, where it lands on Google, and then two, actually doing that on your YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, thinking with an SEO mindset on those platforms. Do you think that's going to become more important for brands?
Okay, so this is a great question that you just asked, and I want to add a little bit to it, if I may. Google has not only web results, but it has image results, news results, and video results. In these buckets, the web, the video, the news, and the images, these buckets are very, very, very important for businesses. And so this is something that with our approach internally here at the SEO Queen, we do this for our signature clients. It's like making sure that we are optimizing them for news results, image results, and web results, and sometimes video results. What this does, it puts you in front of people who are looking for video content. Like oftentimes what Google will do, it will give like featured snippets or knowledge panels or different goodies in the search results. And by you having digital assets that are videos, images that are optimized, it gives you more opportunities to appear on Google page one. So why have only one way to appear on Google page one when you can have four? So you definitely want to leverage that. A lot of companies do not do digital PR. They do not. And one of the things that we've been doing for years is getting our people on Google page one. In fact, we just put out a story with Miriam Williamson and Michael Beckwith, and they're a part of Lindsay Wilson's The Show. So we just did a digital PR piece on that. And this is how companies get more visibility. When you look at Google, not just as a one channel platform, but look at it in all the dimensions. If you're e-commerce, you have not only web results, you have image results, video results, news results, and shopping results. If you are selling books, if you're an author, then you have the book results to add on to that. So there is so much possibility for visibility on Google that you really need to, when you're thinking about, is video optimization important? Yes, absolutely. Should you have your keywords integrated into your video title, into your video name, and into your video description? Absolutely, yes. Should you be embedding that video into your blogs from your YouTube channel? Absolutely, yes. Should you have a verified YouTube channel? Absolutely, yes. And take it a step further and make sure that you're doing the digital PR and that you're optimizing the images to fully build brand that is comprehensive, that Google will not say, oh, we're just going to take away their traffic because there's other people who have more helpful content. So the more you give to Google, the more you'll get back.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And thinking about, like you said, flooding the search engine results page with your material, because if not, those competitors are going to have that. So having the video, having the image, having the articles, very important. And then it stops to that over reliance on the one keyword, right? If we can take this to different parts of the strategy, that's huge. Now, before we end this, I do want to touch on one thing, which is bro SEO. I saw you mention pushing back against bro SEO. Because I see it all over my Twitter feed, all these SEO jackasses, for lack of a better term, that are like promising first page results in 3 months, and they have all these new techniques and they have the black box that they work under. Or if there's any advice that you could give a business owner on how to avoid these like SEO hucksters, so to speak, is there anything that you would tell someone who is evaluating SEO, freelancers, agencies, or maybe an in-house person to do or to question before going on and hiring said person?
Yeah. So first of all, I've heard a lot of industry professionals who specialize in Google Ads talk about this. The issue of attribution. And so a lot of brands, businesses, digital marketers, they'll look at the data that they get and take it as gospel. Now, I am a data-driven marketer, but I use my real-world experience. So I use the quantitative and the qualitative to make a decision, because your gut, your intuition, your experience, your day-to-day interaction in the marketplace has to come to bear. You can't just look at the data as is, because Google's GA4 is not perfect. It does not track perfect. In fact, Apple has made changes to their iPhone. So you don't know who is on your website. You have a snapshot, but nobody has a full picture of all the data. And so the big mistakes that I see a lot of business owners making is that they see SEO as like the same as like Google Ads. in order for your business to be seen, in order for your marketing to be successful, you have to be consistent and committed. Because when you're consistent and committed, those seeds that you plant will grow and bring a harvest in the future. And so you definitely, like, if you're making sales, if you're able to bring your products and services to the market and you know people are buying it and you know people are needing it, you just have to continue to tweak and tweak and tweak until you continue to grow and grow and grow. Patience is required when you bounce from one thing to another, expecting, overnight success. Like, very few people go viral. But, if you consistently build out your content, then you will, you'll have success. Like, when I'm looking at, there's a series that I do on my YouTube channel called Unpack My SEO, and I'm looking at really successful multi-million dollar companies and what drives revenue for them. And they have content. They have consistency in their SEO, which yields millions of keyword rankings, which yields millions of clicks a month to their site. And so, in order to build a site that big, you can't do it overnight. Even companies like Google can't do it overnight. So, you have to utilize AI, use professional SEOs. And in order for you to avoid the hucksters, you really have to understand when someone is selling you a bridge.
Yeah, that's the truth, right? Is like there's no quick way to say just do this one thing and you'll avoid the scammers, right? It's like go get a little bit of base knowledge, understand it a little bit, pay an expert to sit with you and coach you through how to create an article, do it once or twice. Oh, okay. Create SOPs on how to create articles, the editing it's going to go through, where AI is going to be used in the process, where it's not going to be used, etc. I love it. Now, Z, before I let you go, let people know where they can connect with you online, learn more about you, your services, etc.
Yeah, well, you can connect with me online at SEOqueen.com or at thealgorithmmagazine.com. You can email me at zhe@seoqueen.com.
Amazing. Thank you, Z, for coming on the show today. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. That's it for this episode. As always, I'm your host, Jordan Shelton, and I'll catch you next time.